All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition and the first edition in 2024 of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. And yesterday, we saw a pretty big pump on Bitcoin considering a 24-hour time period, 4.5% as it sits right now. And over the 7 days, it's up 7%, which is a pretty significant move when it comes to the Bitcoin chart because of how large the price is. But we're going to go over why this has happened. Obviously, the ETF news is lingering now that we're in January. A lot of people think that we're going to get that long-awaited Bitcoin ETF approval. And what does this mean for your crypto gaming bags? What does this mean for potentially scaling profits out of the market? I'll go over my exact playbook, how I'm going to maneuver this ETF approval situation for maximum upside, but also to be able to take as much out of the markets before a potential downside. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. All right. And as always, guys, like the video down below and subscribe. I believe we're hovering close to 90K. We're trying to hit that 100K subs as soon as possible. So subscribe if you haven't already for all that crypto gaming alpha every single week here on In the Game. We've got you covered here. And then quick shout out to our sponsors. We have some amazing sponsors here on In the Game, and we couldn't do it without the viewers and the sponsors here, obviously. Seedify, Amino Rewards, Vulcan Forged. We have Ultra. We have XCAD Network, Redato, Dreams Quest, 𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏, and Organya. So shout out to all of our sponsors. You can hit them in the links down below. And also our exchange sponsors. If you're looking for a place to trade during this time period, you can sign up for an exchange of your choice down below in the description. So let's jump into it. Obviously, we saw this big Bitcoin move. And Happy New Year, first and foremost. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Welcoming in hopefully a new year of green candles. And Bitcoin brought us into the new year with a big green candle up to, almost touching 46K here. It got up to about 45,877. And we kind of took a little retrace here as expected. Pretty big move as far as a 24-hour and a 7-day perspective. But, obviously this is all lingering because second week of January, people are foreseeing that we might get that long-awaited Bitcoin ETF approval. And there's so many different opinions out there right now. If you are browsing YouTube, browsing Twitter, someone here will tell you they think that Bitcoin ETF approval is the top. Okay, it could happen, right? We've seen buy the rumor, sell the news play out time and time again. But is it going to be that easy to maneuver? And why would we not expect a potential big green candle right after the ETF approval? So here's how I'm going to play this, right? This type of situation here, I'm not ready to scale my stuff out of the market at the moment in time. My altcoins, for example, I think that we're still going to see a little bit of a run up here right after the ETF approval. As we see here, a couple of tweets I'm going to show. Pomp tweets out that humans are horrible market timers. And this goes back to what I just said, what people think is going to happen. Most likely, most of the time, it's going to go the opposite, right? So humans are horrible market timers, and investors dropped crypto right after it was poised to have one of the best years for returns. And I know this to be so many people, whenever I talk to them that used to be involved in the crypto markets, they're like, yeah, Johnny, I sold all my stuff this summer. I just found it was worthless. And then in October, we have this massive run up, and we've seen Bitcoin literally 3x this year almost in price. It's like 2.5, 3x since the beginning of this year. We have gaming altcoins absolutely crushing. Obviously, the Solanas of the world up 10x plus. We have Avalanche, which is rocketed from the bottom as well. So we have a lot of big winners out there in this market right now. And this is why time in the markets beats timing the markets. And that goes to my thesis for this ETF approval. Like, first of all, that maturation in the bear market. Everyone here on In the Game, when we used to host it on the Banter channel and here, we gave you guys the plays, we gave you guys the DCAs, and I gave you my strategy. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm looking for that bull market 2024, 2025. That's when I'm going to massively take profits out of this market and make sure that I'm covered as far as my downside and what I'm happy to take out of the market before, the top happens and you're left holding the bag, for example. We set ourselves up perfectly for that situation. Our time in the market beat timing the market. That is for sure. We DCA'd some of the lows on the best gaming altcoins. And now, we are patting ourselves on the back for that, right? And as Pomp says here, the number of unique addresses holding at least one full Bitcoin is now at an all-time high, which is rare. A lot of people are half coiner, most people don't own a single full-blown Bitcoin. Most people spread their portfolio amongst altcoins. And whenever you're seeing the amount of full Bitcoin, this is going to mean most of these people that are holding multiple full Bitcoins, they're holding for that mass adoption. They're holding for the next bull market. They're not looking to offload 7% pumps on a Bitcoin. Okay. That's a very bullish indicator for the Bitcoin chart. And then let's get into my thesis here. Okay. Ansem, he's a great altcoin caller. I would highly recommend following him as far as like Solana gems as well. He's really on point, but I don't even understand why y'all are trying to psyop yourselves into thinking the ETF is bearish. The largest asset manager in the world is backing a spot Bitcoin ETF and shilling it on national television to everyone with a Fidelity account. What more do you want? And as you see here, buy the rumor, sell the news. This is the typical maturation of how this should play out, right? And as Elio says here, disbelief. If everyone is going to think, okay, this is the top, local top, we're going to see a sell-off after the approval, one green candle, then we're going to sell off. That's just so easy to predict. And once again, when we called the beginning of this rally, the easy thing was to say, we're going lower. I'll just pick the bottom. No worries. I'm not going to miss any upside. That's just how it's going to go. We got into here and people this is where we're at, the disbelief stage. This is the suckers rally. People have been calling it since 25, 28, 32, 34. Every single stage, people are so bearish and they think we're going to get this pullback. And now everyone thinks, oh, it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation. I don't think so. We would have never seen something like this happen. And here's my playbook, guys. I think after the ETF approval, we're going to see a surge past 50K. That's my personal opinion. I think we see a 50K Bitcoin in the short term leading up to and after the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. Number two, after that, I think that there's going to be this middle ground, maybe a little sideways trading, but also some money flowing down into the altcoins in the meantime, while this Bitcoin spot ETF isn't tradable. But once it begins trading, I do believe that that is the time to potentially exit some of these markets. And here's why. Not exit the market in total, right? Time in the market beats timing the market. But I'm going to scale profits whenever the investment of these ETFs go live. And here's the reason. BlackRock already custodies all these Bitcoins that they're going to be distributing to their customers, and all these big entities and fund managers, they already have their basket of Bitcoin that they're going to be distributing to their customers. Okay. You're just putting it in the hands of someone who either will hold it long-term, but most people capitulate. And I just don't see why whenever it opens to the public, it's not like they're all buying full Bitcoins. It's a Bitcoin spot ETF. So I feel like that momentum will slow a little bit. And the most typical crypto thing that we could see is after the approval, after your grandmother, after your mom or your dad or your brother is able to buy Bitcoin through TD Ameritrade or Fidelity, that it goes down. They're going to be hitting you over the head. Why did you tell me to buy this stuff? Right? That's probably the most typical thing that could happen. So I see a rally after ETF. I see the altcoins getting liquidity off of those gains from the top coins. We kind of see that trickle down effect, and we've seen it. Gaming altcoins have been rocketing during this time period. But then I think when the ETF goes live, I'm going to be taking a lot of profits on my altcoins. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take a lot out. I'm going to potentially, secure my capital for those DCAs if we see a little bit of a downturn. But here's the key. I'm going to leave enough in the markets that I'm not going to be squeezed out no matter what. Here's the thing. No profit is bad profit. You will never go broke taking profits. And I would never shame anyone for taking profits, right? So I'm going to take enough to make myself happy throughout this last quarter of a run that we've had. I mean, amazing gains on the gaming altcoins and even some of the top coins, right? But after that, Like, I'm going to leave enough in that if it continues to go up and it really is the beginning of this next bull market, and that's we're going through all-time highs, etc., then I have enough still in the markets to be okay and to feel that upside and then be able to scale out profits again whenever we get towards the top. So it's a no-lose situation in that point. Always take profits, but that's the way I'm looking at this ETF approval. So we'll go through a couple of altcoins here quickly. And today I'm not buying a lot of stuff. Like, obviously, we're set up in our positions across the market. We did really well lining up some of these positions at the bottom. And, I'm very happy with the bags that we've accumulated. But some of the stuff, we see Honeyland. This one, we called it at 6 cents. It's up to 23 cents. It's taken a retrace here from 33. I think it's actually a good accumulation right now. It's the hottest Solana game by far. I think that, this pullback is it's because of so much profit being taken, which makes sense, right? But I think that this does still have upside, and more people that are, by the way, I got my Solana phone. I got my Solana phone in the mail here, and a lot of people are going to get exposure to Honeyland because, oh, of course, yeah, a lot of people are going to get exposure to Honeyland because it's a Saga benefit. You get a free Beamium, like a premium account underneath the Honeyland ecosystem. You get 50 free HXD. You get the Saga badge. You get a commemorative Saga plus Honeyland NFT, and exclusive Saga cosmetics in the future. So more people are going to get exposure to this thing. And for me, I pivoted my bonk claim into HXD, but that's just me. I felt like that was the right move to do. So I'm super bullish on Honeyland. A lot of people were asking me about Shrapnel. Shrapnel did take a huge pullback here. Let's pull up the 1 month chart here. Got up to that 42-cent level, and it's taken about a 33% retrace. And if we look back at the big time chart, it did the same thing. It rocketed on launch. It came back to earth, but then it had a second wind, and that thing absolutely kicked off. Once the game launches, I 100% see this thing getting back up to those 40-cent levels. I don't think that's a problem. So anyone who's been DCAing Shrapnel, first and foremost, I haven't sold a single Shrap token. I'm in my position from 13 cents. I am very bullish on the launch of this game, seeing it up close, being with the team here in Miami a few weeks ago. Like, I see what they're doing, and I'm more than bullish on the Shrap token in the short to mid-term here, leading up to the initial game launch. I think Altura is a great accumulation. It's actually it actually took a little bit of a increase even since I got on the stream here, but that's a good thing to see. We see Senate, and I want to call something out. On the comments on the last show, I noticed one guy, he said, Hustle calls things after they 10x. But anyone who's been in here the whole bear market knows I called this token all the way through here. 2 cents at a $2 million market cap, okay? And this one is now 10x from there, but it's still a 20 million circulating market cap. And the Polis token for Star Atlas is $100+ million token, and it's the governance token. So I see this being very undervalued in the Sidus ecosystem. And even if something's done gains, if I see a market cap and a product and the use case of this token being higher than the use case of the Sidus token, it just makes complete sense, right? And I mean, to say that we call things after they 10x is foolish, because we've given numerous 10x's in this market, including playable games. This one's also taken a big retrace, understandably. I mean, it 10x'd. Like, this thing literally 10x'd from the bottom. There's always going to be sell pressure during these time periods. But the one thing you have to take a look at is the developments are ramping up in the ecosystem. They just launched their second game, Starve and Martian, to great feedback. And now they're on live servers with the Nexus game that they have, 1,400 daily players, and Play to Earn is now live. So there's daily rewards kicking out to the people that are playing the games in the ecosystem. And knowing this team, seeing what they have in the tank firsthand, talking to them, etc., I can't be more bullish heading into 2024. The plans that they have, rolling out more games, partnering with more games, getting them flowing through the ecosystem, and having more use cases for the Bull token. So that's something to definitely take a look at heading into 2024. It's been consolidating around those 6-7 levels. And if you missed that initial pump, then I think that this one could be a good time to get involved. $33 million circulating market cap. But obviously, we did get in about here, right around that 00 or 0009 level. So we are well up on this position. But that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of tokens that you can call in this market right now that haven't ran. So you can't look at the gains that it's done. And I'm going to give you one example. I see it in the comments all the time. It's this one right here. Okay. Let's see. Let me get this pulled up. A lot of people were like, you don't know what this token is, etc. Yes, I have seen it. I know what they're doing. Looks great. Okay. But there comes a time where it's hard to chase a certain number, right? And on the year here, this one's 34x'd. And it's really just in the last month, this thing's 34x'd. Okay. So like, it's hard for people to stomach getting involved in something like that. And that makes complete sense, right? But it's still a 25 million market cap. But like, this is not me saying I have not bought this token. I did not get involved in this token, but I do see it in the comments all the freaking time. Great project. And shout out to anyone who got involved here. Like, absolutely amazing gains here. I mean, based on the market cap here, it would have been under $1 million market cap at this point in time. And this thing just absolutely shot up. And a lot of people are scared to chase those types of candles. But right now in this market, there's not a lot that hasn't had these types of runs, right? So you just have to pick and choose, and based on valuations, get involved with things you're comfortable with and that you feel like you know enough about to take advantage of and have catalysts around the corner to be able to, continue that upward momentum. So that's what we're trying to bring you here on the show. I like Honeyland, Shrapnel, Altura, Senate, and Playable Games to potentially continue their runs. Last week, we talked about AI and gaming. This is going to be a huge narrative. Michael here from Today the Game, they're building an awesome AI game. And as we see here, Delphi Digital did a report for the year ahead and the future of AI gaming. They call out Colony, which we talked about just last show. Echelon Prime, they're the token that backs Colony. It is from the Parallel ecosystem, the best trading card game in Web3. And then Today the Game and AI Arena are two more AI-powered games in different genres. I think that AI and gaming in 2024 is going to be one of the biggest intersections of the biggest niches potentially in crypto. And I think that gaming and AI is going to be one of those that really rockets heading into 24. So I agree with Delphi Digital. I agree with what they're building over here at Today the Game, at Parallel Colony, as well as AI Arena. So look out for those launches this year. And then on the gambling niche, the GambleFi niche, Winter Protocol, this one's done really well, but I still think it's undervalued. Like, we got in here at 6.5 cents. I think that this one's still got a long way to go. Speaking of AI, they just partnered up with an AI data platform, AIT Protocol, to revolutionize crowdsourced data validation campaigns, AI assistants, community manager bots, all powered by AIT's expertises. And then Koneko. We mentioned this one again last week on the, we got in down here around that 40 cent mark. We brought it to you guys. This one's absolutely rocketed. And when you look at the current price, like, we called it again here that it's kind of oversold, and this one's shot back up. I think as long as Solana goes, this one's going to go. It's one of the most undervalued casino projects on Solana network. And I think that this one's going to continue to have that upside. So all in all, those are a couple of tokens that I still deem to be good buys based on market cap perspectives, based on what they're building and the amount of updates that are coming out. But as I mentioned, I'm not buying anything right now. And the reason being is we've set ourselves up on In the Game to be very content in our bags. And we don't have to come up here and buy something every day. Like, we don't have to shove tokens in people's faces and say, this is today's play. Like, that's a recipe to end up getting wrecked. Okay. And shout out to everyone out there that's made gains in these markets. And I hope that you take today's playbook and implement it, kind of shift it around your thesis. No one has a crystal ball, right? I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen after ETF approval, and I don't know what's going to happen after ETF is traded, right? But I'm going to make sure I scale out profits accordingly and take enough to make me feel satisfied, but also leave enough in the markets that if the train leaves the station and it says, screw the narrative, this is the next bull market because we've never seen a spot ETF approval, I'm going to have enough in the markets to be able to be just happy enough to capitalize on that upside. And then a quick shout out to our sponsors here. Seedify continues to crush it. 36 million S fund out of 59 million are staked. That's crazy numbers. Like, shout out to Seedify. Their launches are ramping back up, and they have some high-powered launches coming here very, very soon. So, I mean, I have to give a big shout out to them. We called it again at 60 cents. It's $4 today. So, great gains on Seedify. And the fact that this many tokens are being staked out of 59 million circulating, that is the most bullish metric I may have ever seen on a staking metric with a token. And then Amino rewards. We mentioned this a few weeks ago, or one of the last shows we did before the new year, that they partnered up with Merit Circle / Beam. And I think that this is going to be an interesting one, because I know Ammo is trying to kind of toe the line between gaming and shopping and rewards and loyalty. And I think that they can do some really cool stuff here with Merit Circle. They have hundreds of thousands of users, partnerships with the 49ers, Ammo receiving a ton of attention. It's been doing really well this week. Sustainability at its core and advanced shopping mechanisms. So check out Amino rewards, check out Seedify, and we'll be back again this week. If the market continues, we see gaming altcoins continue to rocket, I'll be back tomorrow. If not, I'll be back on Thursday with another show. Like, subscribe, check out our sponsors in the description down below, and stay safe out there. Take profits accordingly. Form your thesis, take the playbook, use it on your own. That's what it's here for. And leave your comments down below. As always, play well, my friends.